Alexis Sports Extra with Josh Moser, Mike DePasquale, Donovan Campbell, and Drew Rosenhaus.
Hi, everybody. Welcome in. This is 7 Sports Extra. We're closing out your weekend in style. I'm Josh Moser. Extra baseball for the Marlins today in Philadelphia. Saturday's contest suspended due to rain. Fish wrapping up that game, plus the series finale at Citizens Bank Park. We start your Game 2 opening frame. Bryce Harper flying this one to shallow right. Jazz Chisholm making a diving effort, lands hard on that shoulder. Done for the game. Good news, X-rays negative. Second baseman wiping away tears, exiting the field. Fish play on. Game tied at 2 in the third. Adam Duvall taking this one the opposite way. 20th on the season. That put the Marlins on top 4-2. However, the Fish give that lead right back. Bottom 6 bases juiced. Miami can't turn the double play in time. Phillies add another run that made it a 6-4 contest in favor of Philadelphia. Bottom 8, same score. Travis Janikowski laying down the bunt. Garrett Cooper covering first, and this not good. Arm tangled on the plate, done for the contest. Marlins fall 7-4. Injuries to 2 starting middle infielders. Sorry, Marlins fans, the conclusion of Saturday's rainout today, the same result. Bottom 10, JT Realmuto walking this one off against his former team. Fish fall 4-2 in extras. Miami 1-3 on the restart following the All-Star break. The bigger loss could be Chisholm and Cooper.
You start off hopeful where you're at and hopefully able to put 2 on the board. You don't get either one. And then you see Jazz go down and you see Coop go down.
Those are 2 staples in the lineup. Obviously, we need those guys, and, I'm hoping that, they'll be back soon.
A highly anticipated final round at Royal St. George's for the Open Championship. Louis Oosthuizen holding a 1-shot lead over Colin Morikawa and a 3-stroke edge over Jordan Spieth heading into the final round. Across the pond we go. Beautiful look at the famous cliffs of Dover in southeast England. Here's your third round leader, Oosthuizen on 7 in the greenside bunker. Blades it over the green. No magic on Sunday, a 1-over-par final round to finish in third. 2017 Open champ Spieth. This for Eagle on 7. His putter, fantastic. Yes, sir, it's a final round 66. However, the 2-stroke deficit to Morikawa, too much to overcome. The 24-year-old finishing 15 under for the Turner. Playing for the first time in the major. Morikawa just the 3rd golfer to ever win 2 or more majors in his first 8 appearances. Tiger, the only other golfer to win the Open and the PGA Championship before turning 25.
When you make history, and I'm 24 years old, it's hard to grasp and it's hard to really take it in. It's so early on, and I enjoy these moments and I love it, and I think I need to teach myself to embrace it a little more, maybe spend a few extra days sitting back and drinking out of this. I just want more.
Getting set for the NFL season is former Kane star and now Jacksonville Jaguar, Shaq Quarterman. 2 of us speaking about his transition to the league and now getting ready for year 2 under new head coach Urban Meyer. You're playing for your hometown team. Were you a Jacksonville Jaguar fan growing up?
Yeah, I had to be. Being right there, next to the stadium, you got to be a Jaguars fan. So being sent back home was definitely a shock to me. That's the only word I could use. A shock for real.
Is that added pressure or no?
No, it's more of not pressure. I took it more as like a badge of honor, you know what I'm saying? Being able to play for your hometown, your core fans who watch you play in Pop Warner up to middle school, all the way up to high school, through college. It's very special to me.
So much buzz around your team right now. New head coach, new quarterback, top picks. What's your first impression of Urban Meyer?
He definitely has a presence about him. From the first time you see him walk in the room, from the first way, he talks to you, he definitely has a presence that, I would say definitely comes with, his stature. He's had a very successful career. He's learned a lot. He's a very smart guy. So that's the first thing that jumped out at me about him.
What about Tim Tebow?
Tim is everything that you see. I introduced myself to him. I said, "How you doing, Tim? I'm Shaquille Quarterman." He said, "Yeah, I know you." And I was shocked. So, but he's definitely who he is, man. He's a great guy, dog. Hard worker, like everything that you would think.
It's going to be Trevor Lawrence under center. You know him from the ACC. What's maybe your first impressions of him, and what's your relationship like?
I like Trevor, man. He came in very humble, even with being, the number 1 pick, all this. His college career was amazing. So but he came in and went straight to work.
Let's talk about you. You've got a routine yourself coming off of the IR, spent a little bit of time on special teams. What can everybody in Miami and everybody watching expect from you next season?
Right. Man, they can expect the best Shaquille Quarterman, man. Going to that first year, it was hard for everybody. You know, you had to roll with a lot of the punches, adapt in a lot of different ways. But going into this year two, you know, as any, you know, year two athlete, you've learned so much more. I've learned so much more about my routine and having to make one for myself because, you know, you don't have the college structure anymore. So you have to go really get to know yourself and what you need to operate at a high level. So just on the basis of that, I feel much more better about my routine.
We've got more with Shaq coming up later in the show. It's been quite the run-up to the Olympics for the heavily favored USA men's basketball team. The U.S. suffering 2 losses in exhibition play and also losing 2 players to COVID protocol. Final exhibition, Spain and Las Vegas. U.S. leaving for Tokyo tomorrow. Second quarter, Bam with the left, 4 points, 5 boards on his 24th birthday. USA down 2 at the half. Fourth quarter, transition play. This is fun. Damian Lillard to Kevin Durant to 2-time slam dunk champ Zach LaVine. Team USA wins 83-76. Women's national team playing their final tune-up ahead of the Olympics. It's Nigeria, who coincidentally the U.S. will face to open the games. Team USA wins big 93-62. Last time U.S. didn't win gold in each of the last 6 Olympic Games. Sad news for Delray Beach's Coco Gauff. The 17-year-old tennis star testing positive for COVID just days ahead of representing Team USA. It's unknown if Gauff is experiencing symptoms. This would have been Gauff's first Olympic Games. Dolphins training camp just 9 days away, getting multiple NFL players ready is one local strength coach. Our Mike DePasquale explaining why players trust him to get season set.
Extra points.
Everyone say hello to the one and only Drew Rosenhaus. And
Good
Drew,
to be here.
Yeah, as always. Mike just with us. We were talking about the offseason training for NFL players, but as an agent, how involved are you in your clients' offseason programs?
Very involved. Each and every client that we represent, I talk to them at the end of the season. We come up with the training facility, we come up with the schedule, we talk about nutrition, we talk about supplements, we talk about physical therapy. Everybody's different, but I'm involved with every single client, whether it's down here in South Florida, like at Pete Bommarito's, or whether it's around the country.
What's your cell phone bill every month?
You know, I don't even know. My secretary pays it, Kathy. So thank you, Kathy.
Working all the
I
time.
don't pay attention. It's whatever it is, it's well worth it, right?
Maybe the biggest question right now from Dolphins fans is if All-Pro corner Xavier Howard doesn't report to training camp, what's plan B?
Well, first of all, I think he will report to training camp because it's really tough when you don't show up to camp. You just accumulate these massive fines, and you really don't have a lot of options when you're under contract. You can either show up to camp and play and encourage the team to do your deal by playing well, or you can hold out, push for a trade, and see what happens. But that's a huge gamble for most players when you get to camp.
Led the league with 10 interceptions last season. Former Dolphins player Ted Ginn Jr., 9th overall pick, just announced his retirement. Drew, many Dolph fans believing that the Ohio State product didn't live up to expectations taken that high in the draft. How fair is that assessment?
Well, I started representing Ted about 5 years ago when he was with the Panthers. And he had a long career. He played 14 years. That's unheard of. That's virtually more than any Dolphin receiver that they've ever drafted. So if you look at the longevity of his career, it's right at the top, you know, and Jeff Ireland, who selected him, would say that was a great pick. But people looked at him as the 9th overall pick, and this was at a time when the Dolphins didn't really have a quarterback either. So it's hard to give Ted a hard time. It's difficult to be hard on him. You know, many people that could throw to him very successfully.
Give you the inside scoop. Drew, hang right here. We're bringing you back later in the show.
All right, great.
Drew's the best. Time for our first time out tonight on 7 Sports Extra. When we return, learn why Giannis Antetokounmpo believes the NBA Finals will end Tuesday night in Milwaukee. Plus, we serve you up a 74-year-old that would make you look silly with a ping pong paddle. That story and more, just 2 minutes away. Welcome back to Extra. Former Cane star Shaq Quarterman is ready for a breakout season for the Jacksonville Jaguars. A knee injury derailing the linebacker's rookie season. Quarterman telling me he is healthy and ready to elevate his game in year 2. What do you think your first defensive snap at middle linebacker is going to feel like in a regular season game? Are you churning for that moment?
Yes. But I don't even think about the play. I know the play that happened. I'm thinking about the first big play, the tackle for loss, the interception, those type of things, whether it be in my home stadium or it be at any away game, just making that play, that'll do it for me.
Oh, 305 is going to be jumping up in their seats watching you for that. What about your parents? I mean, they got to be so excited, man. They're right down the street.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm on the way to them right now, actually, for a little Sunday dinner, but they love it because, they traveled to almost every game home and away when I was in college. So the fact that, God blessed me to go back home, I tell them they could take a bunch of miles off the car and stuff like that. So they excited about that too, but they love it.
What about these college kids this year? They're getting using their likeness. They now get paid. What's your take on all of this?
I'm happy for him, and it's so brand new right now. I don't think everybody really knows how it works. Like, I don't really know how it all works right now. I only get certain information from my agent and, some of the players I definitely keep in contact with still. But I think it's about time. I'm really happy for him. I just hope that, all these players realize that everything that glitters is not gold. You could definitely get paid for your likeness now. I would just urge every player to really, look at these contracts that come their way, look at the whole offer, not just, what's going to be deposited into your account. Because as a college player, man, you have so much, you're worth a lot more than probably a lot of those deals, you know what I'm saying? But those deals are still good. That's why I say I would just take my time and really, see what best fits me. Man, I wish we had that. I was just with Mike Pickney about 2 days ago, and we tell all the players at Miami, we hating right now. We hating on them, man. We wish we could use our likeness. But it's a blessing. I think it's good. I think it's good for college football.
Oh, right there with you. I was a baseball player in college. Wish we had it. This was 15 years ago. But that's fantastic, man. We're so pumped for you. Thank you so much for making the time and doing this, and really looking forward to see you on the field, see some defensive snaps, and catching in with you. And we'll let everybody down here know that you're doing well and love all the revenue streams. And man, it sounds like you've got the long game set up for good, and you got it done early. You're ahead of the game.
Yes, sir. We're going to try to do it right, man. Thank you for having me, though. I'd love to come back, too,
Oh, anytime. Enjoy dinner with mom and dad.
Yes, sir. You, too. Have a good Sunday.
All right, Jack. Talk to you. Bucks in 6. That's the chance since Milwaukee fell in an 0-2 hole to start the NBA Finals. Tuesday night, a chance to do just that and bring a championship to the city of Milwaukee for the first time in a half-century. Game 5, Suns had a chance late. However, the Bucks able to make that key defensive stop. A title for Giannis now just 40 minutes of hoops away.
We know what the deal is. It's one game away from, being an NBA champ, being in the history of this game. Nobody can take that away from you. And doing it in front of our families and our fans, it's going to be big.
We knew this wasn't going to be easy. We didn't expect it to be. And, it's hard. Coach said it all year long. Everything we want is on the other side of hard, and it don't get no harder than this. We got to regroup, learn from this game. It's over. We got to get ready for Game 6.
Who's ready for some motivation to get out and play and enjoy sports? Our Donovan Campbell explaining how a nearly 75-year-old woman can still hit you with a nasty backhand sitting down. Drew Rosenhaus rejoining us here in Hard Knocks this year in Dallas. Head coach Mike McCarthy adamant when he was in Green Bay that the show was a distraction and he didn't want to welcome HBO to Green Bay. From your players, how much of a distraction is being on Hard Knocks?
Well, Jerry Jones loves distractions. We all know that he's a fan of the lights and the cameras and the microphones, and that's not an insult, but it is a distraction. Players think about it, they talk about it, they've got cameras following every step. It's definitely an amazing show, but it's hard on players and coaches in particular, general managers and everybody else. But Jerry Jones, he was made for Hard Knocks, and that's why they're doing it.
Nothing bigger than Dallas. Let's talk baseball for a minute. You represent All-Star pitcher Shane Bieber. The Marlins just selecting another one of your clients, Arizona State pitcher Justin Fall. How involved are you on the baseball side?
Well, I'm not that involved. In fact, my brother Jason and his team are very involved. They're the baseball agents. I'm a football agent.
How much do you believe the baseball arm will be of all of Rosenhaus sports?
Well, when you have Shane Bieber, it's a big part of it. He's one of the best players in the major leagues, and depends how many other top guys we can sign, but Shane's a huge part of it. But, we represent about 100 active NFL clients, so it's tough to compete with 34 years of representing the best football players in the NFL.
Drew Rosenhaus, everybody, right here every Sunday on
That's
Sports
right,
Extra. Thanks.
Good.
Next on Extra, find out who from the Florida Panthers will be available in Wednesday's NHL Expansion Draft. Plus, it's the first long-term contract for Anthony Duclair. Find out how sunrise and sunshine impacted the forward's decision to stay with the Cats. This is 7 Sports Extra. I'm Josh Moser. Wednesday, the expansion draft to welcome the Seattle Kraken to the National Hockey League is set. Currently, teams given the opportunity to protect up to 11 players from being taken. Panthers list including captain Alexander Barkov, Jonathan Huberdeau, and Aaron Ekblad. The Cats will lose one player on Wednesday, most likely. That will be goalie Chris Drieger. The 27-year-old is an unrestricted free agent. The Panthers will be going with the tandem of Sergei Bobrovsky and Spencer Knight next season in net. This week, general manager Bill Zito signing forward Anthony Duclair to a 3-year contract extension. The Duke will earn approximately $3 million per season. This is the first time in Duclair's 7-year NHL career that he signed a long-term deal.
You can't beat Florida, that's for sure. There's so many things to do off the ice. The lifestyle is unbelievable, and for myself, it's not close to home, but it's on the East Coast, and I'm sure my mom and my parents are more than happy to come watch a few games down here for sure.
Money in the Bank. U.S. men's soccer team trying to finish on top in group play at the Gold Cup, needing a win against Canada. Match taking place in Kansas City. Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes taking this one in. The Americans needing only 20 seconds to find the back of the net. A beautiful centering ball to Shaq Moore. Give me more of that. That would be the final 1-0. The U.S. is on to the quarterfinals. NASCAR Foxwoods Resort Casino 301, New Hampshire Motor Speedway, lap 139. Trouble for Bubba Wallace. It's into Chris Boucher. Bubba finishing 26th. However, big day for Eric Almirola, leading for 25 laps. It's checkers in the Cup Series for the first time since 2018. More importantly, the win, clinching a playoff spot. We aren't done just yet. The big finish is next. I'm Josh Moser. We'll see you on the other side. Big finish MLS soccer. It's the Rapids and Quakes in San Jose, California. Earthquakes manager Matias Almeida in the white shirt from Argentina doesn't speak English well. The man in the black shirt is his translator. The ref, thinking the translator was a coach, tosses him after repeating what the manager was saying in Spanish. It's a language barrier, a red card, and an early exit. Ref, you gotta step up your Spanish. It's California. I'm working on mine. Yo promiso. That's it for tonight on 7 Sports Extra. On behalf of Donovan, Drew, and Mike, I'm Josh Moser. Have a great rest of your night and start to your week. Good night.